Hey guys, it's Nick here, and I just want to welcome you to our 5-minute Fund Manager course or workshop. This is our last event for 2014, and it's a very special one, and you don't want to miss it. So just let me give you some details, and for that I will share some charts with you.
Okay, the 5-minute Fund Manager course does not, or workshop does not mean that you will learn in 5 minutes how to become a fund manager. No, but what fund managers do, me included, and there are people that trade much bigger accounts than I do, they will spend 5 minutes looking at their charts in order to make decisions. And what they do is they wait for the price to reach a certain level. And they don't care about anybody else, and they don't care about any, I don't know, 1 minute, 5-minute charts. I'm not saying you cannot trade off these levels, but fund managers wait for the price to reach a very important support and resistance area, especially on high time frames like the daily or weekly charts, as you probably already know, or some of you know. And then they start making their decisions. Okay, so you can trade this as a day trader, you can do that as a swing trader, you can use lower time frames, but you have to watch out for the right levels, and you need a good timing. If you don't have that, it's very difficult to succeed in the trading business. But if you do have it, and it's not difficult at all to figure that out, these levels I mean, then you have a very big chance to make a lot of money. Okay, so I will show you and explain more of that later on in this video. It's a small video, so don't freak out, it's just a couple of minutes. What we want to do in this workshop is to teach you, I want to teach you how the big banks and financial institutions trade. Okay, they don't, to make it really quick, they don't look at news. Like, yes, they maybe want to know when the big news announcements are being released, but that's it. They don't care about the results, you know, about the numbers. They just want to see on the higher time frames what the market's going to do. So if the market is reaching a very important support or resistance area, a trend line, especially as I said on weekly and daily charts, they will do their move. If it's not reacting there the way they expect, they just don't do anything. Exactly what you want to do. You don't want to be on the side where everybody else is playing around. You want to be part of this 1% of traders that trade at the right levels. Okay, and again, it's not only about any support and resistance lines you might draw. Everybody more or less with a little bit experience know how to draw lines, but you need to draw your lines in the correct areas, and that's what we are going to do. It will be a 3 days course, and we're going to into it very detailed, and we will prepare our charts together so you can look out for setups and trades for the next weeks and months to come. Okay, so I will do that with you, and we will use all major pairs, all forex pairs, and other products that you can trade easily. Okay, now to get back to where I started, as I said, you can have the best strategy, you can use the Spartan strategy, you can use even your own strategy, but you have to use it at the correct area. Okay, and the system, as I said, is not that important at that point. Yes, you need good money management, which of course I will teach you and explain how to apply this. You also need entry rules, and we only need really one simple entry rule and exit rule to trade this correctly, and this I will show you also exactly with all details. Right now, let me check my notes here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, there we go. I just want to use an example. One of my students lately I had a really good track record showing about 60+% made in only, I think, 4 months or less. And suddenly things didn't work that nice anymore. And the reason was just that the market changed a little bit of behavior, and the trader was not able probably to spot the changes early enough. Okay, and that's the trick. So when you trade, you not only need good timing, but you need always to check out and see if the price is again at the correct areas where you want to trade. And that's what we are going to do, as I mentioned already 3 or 4 times. And the most important part of it is that we practice it together. And after these 3 days, when we prepare our charts together, you won't need more than 5 minutes to check if you can trade or if you have to wait for the price to reach your area that is the area you want to trade off. Okay, if that does not happen, if you don't see the price moving towards this area and it's not reaching this area, you just don't trade. Better not to trade than losing too often, right? It means that you have more stress if you trade in an area where you shouldn't trade. But if you don't do that, you have more free spare time. You can relax, and if the price is reaching the correct area, you just take action. You don't have second thoughts. It's easy to do. You don't have to overthink. You don't have to overanalyze anything, and that's really what these big guys do. I remember having like a conversation with a really experienced and old trader in Switzerland who said exactly that. He said, hey, if the price is reaching this area, I'll just place my trades. I go on vacation. I spend the money that I haven't even made yet. Okay, and everybody else is fighting, trying to find out where to enter and trying to find new systems, thinking that the system is a problem, but the system isn't always the problem. Yeah, it's again a timing and knowing where to enter and where to stay out of a trade. Yeah. Also, what we did lately is I gave some of our, let's say, more experienced members and traders that are already doing well, or some of them are doing great, a homework where they would check and go back 2 years with their entry rules, figuring out how many losses and also profitable trades they would have, and look at the results. Now you would say, hey, this is back testing, it's not the same. Of course it is not the same, but if you know, if you are honest with yourself and you know your entry rules and you know your system rules and the money management rules, you can pretty much get an idea. Okay, so I give you only one example of a student that created kind of a spreadsheet here for me. Just give me a second. Okay, this was made by, I think, Tomek from Poland, and he used all these forex pairs and other products he found and did his analysis and also checked the entries, and he came up, you can see, of course, round numbers, let's say on a daily and weekly chart, trading off the right levels with only one position taken on the daily and one position on the weekly. If there is a setup, you see sometimes you don't get any setups in these areas. You'll see, of course, 600. It's not 602 or 603 pips. We round it up, or of course make it a round number more or less. You can see on the daily charts losses and profits in pips, and on the weekly charts. Okay, so here some pairs don't give any weekly clean setups with some basic entry rules. Some gave more, and here you can see as well the winners, the losses, and no signals in between. And again here the same. You even get some big losers sometimes when trading off weekly chart, having a huge stop. But even if you wouldn't take it, we still used it and included the losses in our calculation. And still, just looking at that, trading only at these levels and only on daily or weekly charts, and as I said, you don't have to do that only, but you can do it and only spend 5 minutes a day, then you would have made about, on the daily chart, all that together, 34,000 pips or points, and on the weekly chart 15,000. Now I have other members that calculated more entries still on the daily, and not only the first or second one they found, but each and every one, and they came up with up to over 100,000 pips. And I'll tell you, you know, I don't like to hype, I don't like to tell weird stories and fairy tales, but that is just true. That's how it is. And even if you don't catch all of those, and even if you don't want to trade that, or you don't have all these products, even if you trade only half of this and only, I don't know, maybe miss half of those trades, you could still make 10 and 15 and 20,000 pips. Okay, so that's why you don't want to miss this. This is to the point. It's very easy, and especially for the guys that were with us with the 10-minute trader course. I don't know if some of you should probably will remember, because you already came back and sent me some great charts and results just by using the strategies there. And now we make it even easier and more simple for everybody. And as I said, you don't have to trade only on daily and weekly charts, but these are the results if you would do that only and spending a couple of minutes a day. Okay, so that's this. Now I want to show you another example on the chart, just one simple example so you understand more or less what's going on. And for this I use the USD Canadian dollar chart. As you can see, no indicators, it's just price action. And what we do, we are drawing one line. Okay, this is a very easy and simple example. Not each and every chart looks like that, but this is one that you could easily understand if I draw a simple line. So what we do, we connect our lines the way we are used to, and when we find our 3 touches, we always define a trend line, especially on the higher time frames like the weekly. That's really important. And look at that, after the 3rd touch, each and every time the price reaches this line, because it's a weekly line, and many members know already what I mean, this is major support, and off that you can trade with some simple rules. Okay, but this is only part of it. Now if I take this line, extend it, and then I slowly move the candles a little bit, and I'm just extending the line, okay, like this. Well, you'll see when the price is reaching this line again, or this area, sometimes it's breaking it a little bit, sometimes more, but then coming back, and this is the crucial point here. What happens? Price bounces off this area, okay, because it just likes to do that, especially on the higher time frames. And as I said, only 1% of traders are looking and watching, and when the price reaches this area, then you don't want to miss out. And there are many ways to trade. We need only one powerful way to do that, but it takes about 3 days to explain to you the different ways, the different time frame combinations to enter down here, and to use always the same strategy. It's a combination of time frames for intraday and scalping traders, and it's also very and most important for position and swing traders, because they want to stay in for a long time. Okay, This is only one, as I said, example, very, very simple, and we need to prepare our charts by using this time frame, the daily time frame, and combine a couple of lines with price action. That's it. Okay, and if you think you know already what I mean, maybe yes, up to 60-70%, but there are some details we want to discuss live, and this is just most important to know these areas. And these are the areas that also the big fund managers and financial institutions use to trade, of course. Now we would say, hey, what about all that? Like, do I have to wait for the price to move down 600 points and wait like 2-3 months before I can trade? No, you don't. But of course, because you can also combine these lines with some other lines on the lower time frames and still trade the direction. But when the price is reaching those areas in combination with some others, with some other lines in areas on lower time frames, then you need to take action, right? And this is exactly what we're going to do. We focus on those areas. We prepare, as I mentioned, all our charts, and you will be ready to trade for the next months of these levels. And if you do that correctly, I know we shouldn't be too bold and say that, but if you do it correctly, it's almost impossible not to make a lot of pips and therefore also a lot of money. Okay, I hope this is enough for you to try this out and to be part of that. It's in about 2 weeks from now. Of course, I will also show you all the results that students already had and all the tests on charts, so you can see how they did it and how they came up with so many pips and profits there. Now, okay, because it's almost Christmas time and my birthday is coming up very soon. You will save about $50. We'll do it. It's very cheap. Don't worry. $50 when you sign up very quickly within, I think, 5 days. And if you are an elite member or, of course, a complete trader member, you get 50% off immediately if you want to join this live. Live is always better, of course, and this way we can also support our charity account a little bit. If you want to do that, you just send us an email. Okay, I hope to see you there. Have fun, catch up with you soon, and thanks for watching. Bye.